Hi there, folks. Welcome back to Rich Reviews. I hope you're enjoying your week. I hope you're staying safe. And the latest documentary review for you now here. And let me confess, I am trying to get to more reviews. And I'm trying to watch more movie reviews. And I want to get the documentary reviews out first because this is my 10th one. And the most I've ever done in the year is 12. I'm trying to break that record. And as I said, this documentary is called Dads. This comes via AppleTV Plus. And this made the rounds in the film festival circuit for a couple of years. And this is directed by Bryce Dallas Howard, who, let me confess, I've often confused for Jessica Chastain, because I know that's probably odd to say because they look so similar. To me they do. To other people they may not. What do you know, it's almost Father's Day. And let me confess, I brought my dad a book, and also I'll probably mow the lawn for him. That's probably the highlight of my week anyway, and that's good enough for me. So this documentary is sort of threefold. One is interviewing dads from all around the world. Two, celebrities talking at themselves about being a dad and what their own parents did when they were young. Third, have Bryce Dallas Howard talk about her family and how her father raised them, plus her brother, who recently became a first-time father. When it comes to the, interviewing regular folk people, which, let me confess, must be hard for Bryce Dallas Howard to do because she's part of a entertainment family. She interviews some interesting people. I can't complain about that. I think there's one here that started a daddy blog. Yes, considering how there are mommy blogs out there, this was a guy who was working in retail. Let me confess, working in retail must be miserable these days. And basically he's like, yeah, I decided to quit my job, become a full-time daddy vlogger. See him raising his kids, and let me confess, it seems like hard work, particularly the fact that, he has young kids. The mother reacts to one scene in which, there's poop on the floor, and she's like, don't show me the poop. Father, who the couple isn't together, and for a while he didn't want to have anything to do with this kid, but obviously he got personally involved. And obviously this kid had heart trouble right from the moment that he was born, so he had to have open heart surgery. This guy is taking his kids to appointments and whatnot, and obviously there's always that trope of, the selfish father who will do anything for his kid. But obviously, if it was a woman doing all this, basically she'd be, she's completely unreliable as a parent or as an employee. We also meet a parent from Japan. I personally confess, I didn't put on the subtitles for this segment but I basically got the gist of what this person was probably saying, that he enjoys being a parent. Some Latin American country, I forget already, and how he, started a blog as well. He didn't know his father, but obviously from raising his kids to doing this blog, he got to connect with his father again after so many years. And then he's happy to know that he has his own father in his life. I also meet another couple, a gay couple, who's living on a farm, and congratulations for living on a farm, and how they adopted a couple of kids, particularly one from a woman who gave birth at the age of 12 and 14, which is, that's sad as it is, and how one kid has fecal alcohol syndrome. One of the guys was like, I always knew I wanted to be a parent, and a lesbian couple approached me, and it's like, do I have some involvement in the child's life? They were like, no. Moved to a farm because it helps one of these kids, and I think they have 4 kids. All of them are black, which is amazing. Interesting anecdote from this gay couple. The one guy says, yes, my mom has 6 husbands and 10 kids. The parts that don't really work are the celebrity interviews, and no offense to celebrities, they're human like us, and obviously they have marital problems like us, and they have grown kids to raise like us. Conan O'Brien gives us probably only 2 amazing anecdotes from this segment. And obviously, if you think to yourself, these celebrities are providing you with amazing insight, good for them. You get Patton Oswalt, you get Ken Jeong, you get Will Smith. Hey, I'm not going to bash Will Smith there, but you put your kids out there, good for you. Conan O'Brien, it's like, if my father ever came to school, it was one of 2 reasons. I was in trouble, or basically a relative had died. Now, basically, it was like, yes, after my wife gave birth, I had to go on and perform the show. Which is like, yes, you don't want to do that because your wife just gave birth and, you don't want to leave your wife with the kids. The third segment, which I'm not really wowed by, but I enjoy it nonetheless, is one, as I said, about the Howard family and how we see early on the footage of Ron Howard, his wife, going to hospital for their kid's birth, and how Bryce Dallas Howard's brother is preparing for fatherhood. I think at one point they took a class and said, like, yeah, go watch your birth video. And I would not want to watch my birth video, even if my parents had it. And, you know, and obviously they had to grow up. I said there's like at least one photo of them hanging on to her dad while he was making a film. I guess Bryce Dallas Howard is interviewing her grandfather, who obviously this was some 2 years ago. I mean, also there's some interesting moments from other footage of people embarrassing their kids. They feel like, hey, you know, one guy's like, yeah, I'm going to walk my daughter into school with them. She's obviously like, please don't do that. You know, we also get another guy, you know, teasing kids about sex education, which obviously the kid's like, yes, I got a book on that from mom. So clearly, yes, trust me, folks, having the sex talk is probably a hard thing to do because as kids grow older, they become more rebellious. And I probably had my own rebellion phase, but I won't discuss it here. Clearly, Bryce Dallas Howard's brother clearly seems to like living a normal life somewhere. I don't know what he does for a living. And obviously, at the end of the day, he has this kid, and, you know, hopefully that kid will grow up completely normal away from the Hollywood studio system and not have to act or do whatever else. So in the end, folks, what I'm going to say about dads, amazingly enough, I'll give this, considering that at least that one segment about people in general is strong enough, I'm going to give this a matinee rating. So folks, dads, have you seen this? What did you think? Please put everything in the comment box below here, folks. As always, folks, like, comment, subscribe, enrich yourself with knowledge. I'm at Michael Richard, Rich Reese 2. I'll see you next time, folks. Yes, hooray.